YouTube, guys, is all about audio, and my other mic died, so look at this. I got this stupidly long cord. Dang it! So today's video is going to be about a graduated filter. And no, did not graduate from college or high school. That was stupid, don't think that. Pretty much what this is a piece of glass that has dark on the top and light on the bottom as, you know, graduated filter. So what this is used for is darkening the exposure of a sky while leaving the foreground exposed properly. So let's say you want to expose for your ground, and you leave your sky blown out and overly exposed for. So your sky is all white and your ground's perfectly exposed for. Well, you put this in front of the camera like so. As I can see, probably right around there. My head's dark, my body or torso is not as dark, and pretty much we can get a more correct exposure. Not a lot of people who are in landscape photography say you need one. You don't. You're going to waste your money buying this. This is a Lee filter. It's extremely expensive. I even bought this used. Super expensive. You don't need one. You can do it for free in post-processing, and it looks even better in my opinion. Let's get into it. So, oh gosh, the weather has quickly changed. I'll be right back. Yeah, now I'm good. Chilling, but that ain't gonna get me no more. These filters were very popular back in the old days when you were shooting film. Just imagine this. You're on a beach. You want to take a picture and have the ground and ocean, or as to say, you want the sand to be exposed for, and you want the sky to be exposed for. But because it's sunset, the sun is right there on the horizon and it's super bright. So you take a picture, your camera is exposing for the bright sun, and the ground is left dark. You would take this filter, you would put it in your filter holder here, like so, if I can get it in here. You would push it down, and then you would line it up on the horizon, and then the sun and the bright sky would be dark or darker, and then the ground would still be clear because you're shooting through glass. It's not gonna get any reflection because of how close it is to the lens, and the ground would be exposed for then, and the sky would be exposed for, creating an overall good image. That's how it was done for a long time. But now this is very expensive glass. It was a good thing to have back when you're shooting film and early digital, but now that we can shoot RAW, we have Lightroom, we can shoot HDR, the need for this has greatly diminished, and you can do all these effects in Lightroom using an HDR style photography, as well as the gradient filter in Lightroom. So let me show you how to do that right now. One more thing, guys, before I go inside and start editing on my laptop, you're going to need one program, and that program is Lightroom. So if you don't have that, go ahead, hit the link in my description, grab that for yourself, and let's continue. Here are two photos side by side. One photo has nothing on it, and one photo has the graduated filter the physical graduated filter, the one that actually I bought and you put in front of the camera. So the one on the right has the physical graduated filter, and the one on the left is just the RAW file. And I'm going to go show you how to fake a graduated filter using a RAW file, and then later on in HDR. So as you guys can see, the image that we took, the RAW file that we took with the graduated filter on, has the lower part exposed for properly and the upper part darker. And you can see it just looks darker, and pretty much that's it. So the sky is darker, we have a horizon line, it stopped at the horizon line, it kind of cuts across this tree here and a little bit into this tree here, and then the ground is good, is perfectly exposed for. So now we have a shot which I exposed for the ground right here. I exposed for the ground on this one, and whatever happened to the sky is happened to the sky. Now I shot this in RAW, not JPEG. It's really important that you shoot RAW, otherwise you're going to be losing a lot of information with JPEG. So make sure if you're doing a shot like this and you want to fake a graduated filter, your camera is shooting RAW. First things first, I'm going to do here, I'm just going to grab a graduated filter. I already put one on here just to brighten up the foreground a little bit, to make the other shot just look pretty similar. If you want to see what the before and after looked like, it looked like that, so not that big of a deal. But as you guys can see, I used the graduated filter on the ground to brighten up the exposure. Now, to describe how a graduated filter works, it pretty much works like this. Now watch, I left click on the mouse, I just drag it down, and if I hit O here, you can see as I drag in, the line gets harder or softer. So we're going to be faking a soft edge graduated filter. So let's go ahead and make it soft, because the filter that I am using to demonstrate this is a soft edge filter, meaning it's not just a hard line. Doesn't mean it doesn't go from clear to black, like perfect day and night. It's graduated. So there's a fade difference. Now you can hit O to see what you selected. O is just going to give you a red overlay of what's going to be affected. You can turn that on or off by hitting O. Let's just go ahead and reset this filter. let's take the exposure here and drag it down. Now look at that. It's darkening the sky, much like the graduated filter. Now, unlike a real life graduated filter, we can actually brighten it up like so, but I'm just gonna darken it because that's what they're used for in real life. Although with a computer, you can either brighten it or darken it, depending on what you need. Let's go ahead, add a little bit of clarity in here. Something you can't do with the graduated filter, add a little bit of dehazing, maybe change the white balance just a little bit. And now before and after, that is as simple as it is to fake a graduated filter. So, for example, here are the two shots side by side. The one on the left is the fake one, and the one on the right is the real one. They look identical, okay guys? They literally look identical. I prefer the one on the left as you get a little bit more detail in the cloud because we were able to tweak that ourselves, although you could do that with the graduated filter, but it looks more natural on the left than it does on the right, although they're very similar, guys, and that looks really, really good. So for situations when there's a lot of detail that you need to recover, so for example, the sunset at the beach scenario, there's a sunset, you want to take an HDR for that. Now, if you guys don't know what an HDR is or how to take an HDR, I suggest watching this video right there. It will teach you how to take natural looking HDRs. And if you watch that video, pause this one, watch that one, come back here, and you know exactly where we left off. So I hand hooked this shot here. It looks underexposed, but that's because we haven't done anything to it yet. And there's a whole lot more detail in this file here. So this is a raw HDR file. I took 3 raw files, merged them together into an HDR, and we get this super duper, super file, okay? So there's so much detail packed in here. Let me just open up the shadows a little bit. Let's go ahead and drop the highlights. Open up the exposure just a little bit. Step up the clarity, set a white and black point. If you guys don't know what I'm doing, go ahead and click the video showing up right now. This will show you my basic editing, my Lightroom editing style, beginner's guide. I'm just doing that right now. And then the sky looks nice right now. It looks natural. That's because we took an HDR, but I want it to be moody. I want it to be dark. I want it to be desaturated. Well, grab our good old trusty graduated filter here, make it nice and soft, and go ahead, bump up the clarity and drop the saturation. Look at that, guys. Before and after, our ground is looking a little bit too green. Let's go ahead and change it. And within another 30 seconds, guys, we went from this to this. This was an HDR shot. And now when we compare all 3 images together, they look identical, although these 2 right here were edited in Lightroom, and this one right here was done with the physical graduated filter. Now, don't waste your money. I'll see you in the outro. Guys, thank you so much for watching. So I hope you get the idea that you don't need to go buy yourself a $150 filter or however much they cost. You can do the same result in Lightroom for free pretty much. You have more customizable options in Lightroom. You get a better result in the end. Don't waste your money, guys. Do it with Lightroom. It's gonna save a lot of time, a lot of effort. It saves you space in your bag. It saves you your money. You save a lot of stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you learned something from it. Leave a comment, tell me what you want to see next. Follow me on Instagram right here. I mean, follow it, like seriously follow it. Go ahead, check it out. Anyways, guys, see you next time. Camera Crash Course out.